So the NFL, my squad, my team, wheels up to Germany. They're going to be playing. They're technically the home team, but Tyreek Hill talking that trash already. This should be a good one. Chiefs, very small favorite, 1.5. The total, 51. Counselor, going to start with you. Are we fading? Are we following my Chiefs to get it done on Sunday morning in Germany?
Yeah, we're going to fade your Chiefs. I noticed this line, I think it was a 2.5 a couple of days ago, now down to 1.5. That makes sense to me. I think the Dolphins are going to outright win this game. I'll tell you, the Dolphins got to Germany earlier than the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs showed up maybe last night, whereas the Dolphins were there a few days ago. I do think that matters. And I'll tell you, Coach, Meg McDonald, I'll give her a shout out. She has the first half Dolphins bet here. And because of them showing up earlier, we've noticed that in other games out in London, the team that shows up earlier is usually more fresh, more acclimated in the first half. I know that sounds kind of like a trend, but I don't really think it is in terms of like just relying on a trend. It makes complete sense that a team that's going to be there earlier is going to be more acclimated. So I like the Dolphins to win, but I really like the Dolphins in the first half.
Okay, so first half, see us showing up on a Friday. Love that. All right, that's one play. Now, Sniper, I'm coming right back to you. Fading or following the Chiefs?
I'm actually going to follow the Chiefs. I can't imagine them not bouncing back from that horrible game in Denver. I just think, 6-2 so far this season. Obviously, they lost game one, and then they reeled off those wins. I know they looked broken against the Broncos, but that was just one game. I really, really like a bounce back here. I am absolutely following the Chiefs.
And I would never make an excuse like the whole team had the flu, but my connections say the entire team had the flu last week. And when you're playing at altitude on top of being sick,
it was all cold.
Yeah, cardio kills you. Smart, Sniper. Very, very smart. Chip, coming to you. Fading or following the Chiefs?
We are following because we, of course, are going to be playing at Deutsche Bank Park. That is the home of Eintracht Frankfurt. And why is that important? It is an open roof stadium. And what is the weather for Frankfurt on Sunday? Oh, is that 80% chance of showers and 53 degrees? You think those little Miami Dolphins are going to be shivering? No, KC is built to be able to win tough and win fast. They do it both ways. I think the Chiefs are more ready for the environment, and I think that Chiefs will win this game.
And this is a matchup everybody's been waiting for. Everybody wants to see, and it is a standalone. 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, 6:30 on the West Coast where I sit right now. It's the Dolphins, it's the Chiefs. And Kansas City coming off their worst performance maybe in years. First time they haven't scored an offensive touchdown since 2021. They looked awful. The whole team was sick. Patrick looked very sick as well. So now, somehow the Chiefs are still favored by 2.5. The total 50.5. And we've seen teams not necessarily, RJ, adjust well when they go to play overseas. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, but they're going to be leaving relatively early. I think Miami might have already left. I think they plan to leave super early, just like Baltimore did when they showed up and they won that game against Tennessee. Kansas City will leave a little bit later, but still not super late. So I don't think there's much of an issue there for those teams. It's a very good matchup. Miami's defense allowed just 218 yards to New England. New England's not a great offense, but 1 of 9 on third down, is especially worth noting. And Jalen Ramsey back looked good, had an interception. So he's going to be somebody you need here when you're going up against Patrick Mahomes. I didn't mark the Chiefs down at all for that loss with Mahomes sick. Can't really take much away from that performance. We know that they're better than that, and they were actually trending a lot better than that with their receivers before that game. I just wonder if he won't be at his best with this trip because, you get that illness. Obviously was not feeling well over the weekend in those cold temperatures, and then you immediately get on a plane and you got to go on an international trip in a weird place. So we'll have to monitor that, see how he's feeling later in the week, see if it's worth backing the Chiefs. I think this line is about right here because the Chiefs defense is great versus the pass. Miami might have to pivot to the run focus attack. We've seen them do it at times this year, but their backfield isn't as full strength as it used to be. Mostert's been nursing an injury, and we of course know Achane is still out on the IR there. So we'll see if Miami can contain Kansas City. We'll see if Kansas City contain Miami. Should be a fun game both ways. I would lean to Kansas City, but I don't love it at 2.5.